All right, the April 6th Middlebury Town Council meeting will be called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kent Kaufman,
Here.
Mike Holloway,
Here.
Gary Kripe,
Here.
Carl Miller,
Here.
and Kevin Miller.
Here.
All right, we have the minutes for the March 16th and March 23rd meetings.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes of the March 16th, 2026, and the executive session for the March 23rd, 2026 meeting as presented.
It wasn't an executive
It wasn't
session.
executive.
Oh, that wasn't executive?
No,
Okay,
that was
sorry.
just a
I'll amend that.
special.
Special meeting on 2023.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor for public comments. Is that mic on?
Yes.
Test. Does that sound like it's on?
Yep.
Okay. Pam Kaiser, Middlebury. In,
Excuse me, point of order, Mr. President. According to the rules, Pam, you need to state whether or not you live in or outside the town.
I live in Middlebury. I
In the
live
town,
my address is Middlebury. I live just outside the town.
that's what we're looking for. Thank you.
On October 6th, 2025, this council unanimously approved a memo of understanding with Ergo Resource Management, who employs the town manager's husband. The memo of understanding increased the cost of services provided to the town from $3,400 per month to $5,500 per month. This was to provide services with the new water tower construction and water treatment plant. At the March 16th meeting, Mr. Jones from JPR was here trying to justify the water system improvement change order, which would increase the project over $313,000. In JPR's justification, Mr. Jones said, quote, "On contract A, on the tower, we've been told in no uncertain terms that they're very likely going to carry a good amount of their work past their deadlines that are coming and into the early part of 2027, end quote. He referenced the expected completion to be April of 2027. The memo of understanding included, quote, additional duties with town management on all construction projects that could impact the drinking water operations direct and indirectly. A couple of you asked how long this increase would be necessary, and Mary indicated that she was pretty confident that it would go through 2026. However, on the memo of understanding, there is no ending date. Given the concerns about the future water treatment expansions and updates and the consequences of the 2025 tax revisions, could having no ending date on this contract have an adverse effect on the people of Middlebury? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any more comments? All right, we have the expense vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve for disbursement the expense vouchers as presented.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have a bid for the Wayne Street Trail resurfacing and drainage improvements. It is from Milestone Contractors. This was the only bid we received. It looks like the total is $126,480.
126480.
Yes.
Thank you.
Milestone? That was the only bid we received. We requested bids from others, but we had no other participation. All right, amendment number 4 to the interlocal agreement with Elkhart County for intersection improvements.
For the bid, could we move to
Oh.
accept that for review?
Oh, sorry.
I'll make a motion that we take the bid from Milestone under consideration.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Sorry about that. Amendment number 4 to the interlocal agreement with Elkhart County for intersection improvements.
So in your packet is amendment number 4 to the interlocal agreement with Elkhart County. This is, I think, been going on since around 2021, this project. There's the County Road 20 is part of that, between 37 and State Road 13. And then also, we want to get the intersection improvements done at County Road 37 and County Road 22 or Orpha Drive. But we added some work to that intersection because we're trying to get sanitary sewer while we have everything, US 20 under construction. It just makes sense to get gravity sanitary sewer along Orpha Drive from the Antler Lift Station through US 20 and then through this intersection too. And so between the there's a loan from Major Moves through Elkhart County that we have. We're needing an additional $700,000. This was presented at the Town Redevelopment Commission meeting, and for an additional $350. So the project's been split 50-50 between the Town's Redevelopment Commission and Elkhart County Redevelopment Commission. And so we're requesting your consideration for approval of, or if you have questions of the agreement. And maybe Jackson has more to add.
Yeah, so this is, like Mary said, the fourth amendment. The first two had to do with changes to scope. The third amendment was I guess we finished the original scope contemplated by the project, and there was about $600,000 left in the project fund. And so the third amendment expanded the scope of the project to include the additional work that Mary is referencing. Once they did the engineering and studies for that additional work, the new project number was found, and so that's what we're adding additional funds for. So we already expanded the scope, and so now we're adding funds to catch up a little bit to the cost of that.
Just formalizing it.
Yeah. And the way that the funding amendment reads, it can be confusing. So on page 2 and 3 of that interlocal, you'll see it's currently states 580 from each TIF. That is incorporating the previous funds already spent. So previously, I believe it was 200 and some odd from each TIF. And so this added the proportionate being the 50-50 split for the additional increase of the 700,000. So 350 was added to each of those. So,
230 from before.
right. So you're not adding another 580.
Right.
Right.
And this will be administered by the highway department. So this won't be a town administered project. Yep, and as Mary said, it was already reviewed and approved by town redevelopment and county redevelopment, which is where the funds are coming from.
Yeah, and the main issue with why we need to do the intersection improvement project, if you want me to reiterate that, is the fact that County Road 37 at US 20 will be cul-de-saced, so there'll be no access there. That route is used quite a bit by Jayco to get their RVs back and forth and equipment and stuff. So they're going to, Jayco will then need to go to the intersection of US 20 and Orpha. So when they make that turn and come towards County Road 37, they're going to be crossing the bike path once, and then they'll turn on to County Road 37. They'll cross it a second time. So there's some safety concerns. Plus, the crossing currently is in a lower area on Orpha Drive. So this would be moving it to a higher area on the west side of County Road 37. We would cross Orpha, and then we would cross County Road 37 on the north side of the intersection. So it's improving safety for users of the Pumpkin Vine Trail.
I will make a motion that we approve amendment number 4 to the interlocal agreement with Elkhart County for intersection improvements at County Road 22 and 37, County Road 37 and County Road 20, and County Road 20 and State Road 13, in the amount of $700,000 to be split between the Middlebury RDC and the Elkhart County RDC.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ratification of the contract with Ancon for preliminary design of the Town Hall East Wall repairs.
And that's basically what it is. There's a contract in your packet that I went ahead and signed, but we need to ratify that contract. Council.
The 50,000 is a not to exceed number.
This one is just for the design.
Oh, this is just for the 5,000. Okay.
Yeah, 5,000.
I'll make a motion to ratify the contract with Ancon for preliminary design for Town Hall East Wall reconstruction.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, request for payment, app number 8 with FCI for water treatment plant improvements.
So pay application number 8 is from FCI is in the amount of $154,792.92 for the water treatment plant improvements. The invoice is for work done throughout the month of March. And so we're bringing this forward because this will be submitted then to the Indiana Finance Authority to pay with SRF funding. So at this time, we'll need consideration for your approval.
Mary, was that in the packet?
It was
sent-
separate.
In the se-
It was
It
sent
was sent in
separately.
the second set.
second set, I think, right here.
We got that information in on Friday.
I think it was sent out this morning.
Yeah.
I got Myers on that one.
Did you want to see it?
I mean, if they all got it, I'm not finding it in
I
mine.
didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't see it in mine either.
I got it.
got it.
I think it's on the revision one.
Well, mine didn't want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say the revision one.
Water, yep, so you gotta go over, there's another one. In the revised one, there's
Yep.
3.
It's right.
Gotta go over one.
Yeah. There's 3
Yep,
attachments.
there's 3 attachments.
Why doesn't it show up?
Yeah, that's-
Hold on. It's this one.
There's 3.
Okay.
There's 3 attachments on the
Okay.
Meyer one too, that's what.
Okay.
Did you find it?
I think I did.
So I will make a motion that we approve pay application number 8 from FCI Construction in the amount of $154,792.92 for the water treatment plant improvements. Work done March 1, 26 through March 30, 26.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Discussion on annexation of land adjacent to 503 North Main.
So I think this information might have been in that second email too. So there, Axios is potentially moving to a new location north of town at 503 North Main Street. They need some additional land. What they purchased that is outside the town limits is on the map shown as 55357 State Road 13. And that is not within the town limits. And then they're also looking to purchase some land just to the west of that. So that way they kind of have some straight borders there. They're trying to purchase that from, I'm not exactly sure who it is, but purchase some land there. Their question is, do you have any concerns about Middlebury's willingness to annex these two parcels, and do you see any issues with the rezoning? So currently, the land that they're still needing to purchase, I think, is ag land, and
A1.
it would need to go to like M2.
M2.
And I just said, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the council, so I said I would bring it tonight to like see if there was any real concerns. It's adjacent to the town, and it would be part of their parcel.
About right here, correct?
Because the building and everything that's in there now is serviced by the town because it's all in the town limits, correct?
Correct.
So
Yep.
they're just saying, just change that line.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it earlier, I didn't see any reason not to.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And the zoning change would be the county first, right? Yeah, so. as
You
long
would
as
have
the-
the final say.
Yeah, so as long as the county doesn't care about that added little piece, I don't either. It does make a nice line for them.
Or Jackson, would that be part of like the rezoning or the annexation?
Depends when they do the rezoning.
Okay.
Whether they do it before or after the annexation.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
If they got it rezoned before and purchased, we could do it as one. If not, we got to do it as two.
yeah, if not, they'd have to get it annexed, and then if they rezone after annexation, it would then be under our jurisdiction, and it
Got
would
it.
come back to us.
Okay. Either way, I don't see that there's not for me, any kind of problem with it being annexed. It's adjacent, and it's mostly going to be.
It's a small,
It's
yeah,
mostly going to be parking lot for them.
right,
That parcel in blue is already in the town, you said, Mary?
right.
Yeah.
All the way except
So
for
we
the
should have,
55357.
we should have the contiguity and,
Yeah. 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 I would not see an issue for me.
I don't either.
We're not going to, don't do any motions on that, right?
Nope.
No, I don't
We don't
That's
need
just
an
a
action on
discussion.
it. no.
I just needed to kind of report back
Bring
to
it
them
out.
if there was major opposition.
Right.
I don't think there's anything there.
Yeah.
Under new business,
Where are we here?
looks like we're going to go to the Chamber of Commerce year-end report. Carmen?
Good evening. Carmen Carpenter with the Middlebury Chamber of Commerce and Visitor Center. I handed out a little highlight summary of the annual report and also gave you a copy of the annual report. The annual report normally is not done until June for our annual meeting, but, so if there's any typos or anything, I apologize, because we were trying to rush through it to get it to you folks. The report reflects the impact of the local businesses, the community and engagement, tourism, and economic vitality of the town. In 2025, the chamber generated over $232,000 in revenue, with more than 75% of that membership, grants, and events. My assumption is, the real question is, what does that investment do for Middlebury? I'm just assuming, but that's what I'm coming up with. And my answer to that is, it's economic momentum. And through the events and the business supports tourism and community engagement. I think that with the little bit of growth, actually, we've had more than what the report indicates, but I had a lot of cleaning up to do of the report, of the membership, and so we finally got all the counts cleaned up, and so the membership grew from 171 to 195, showing confidence that that's going to be a solid number. This work that we do, it requires partnership. I mean, that's just the bottom line. We need partnerships throughout the community, and we need the support. So we are asking for that support based on the demonstration of the value that I feel that the chamber brings to the community with the events that we oversee. We respectfully ask that you continue your support and that you give us additional funding this year to help us maintain with the festivals and the economic development projects that we're working on in-house. Do you have any questions for me?
Sorry, I haven't had a chance to really review this,
Yeah.
obviously. What's your current staff?
We had hired a secretary or a membership coordinator. We no longer employ her because we just couldn't keep up with that pace. So I've taken everything back onto my plate, and so I work full-time, and Sherry Holland, the past executive director, she works part-time. She does the QuickBooks, and I do the rest of the.
Thank you.
And I do have a part-time person that comes in like once every 2 weeks for like 2 hours. And I pay them $12.50 an hour.
It's a good increase in members. 24 members increase over a year. That's good. Been 2 years. Okay.
And we've already increased 3 from that this year, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm working on one more today that I had spoke to, and I think they're going to sign up as well.
Thanks for presenting this. I'd like a little time to
Absolutely.
review all this. I think we all would,
Same.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right, thank you for having me.
thank you.
Right. Where were we? Discussion for the Westlake Estates sewer connections.
I just put a memo together because we're still kind of where we were, regarding connections for the sewer. I do have a small update even from that memo. The one resident, has paid an additional $100, as part of her connection. So, we're slowly making headway with that resident. The other resident still, we've not received anything from, based from invoicing. There's still 6 homes that need to pay this connection as well as get connected. And 4 homes who have not connected.
Or haven't connected.
So I just feel like the letters aren't doing very much, unfortunately, anymore. And at this point, that penalty that they're getting charged has probably paid more towards this connection fee, if that was something I know we've done in the past. But I think that needs to be discussed with each individual home. I'm willing to help set those meetings up, but I do think it needs to be, I think we need to try and get meetings again with those residents to see when they can at least start getting connected and how we move forward from here. Because as we all know, that was part of that project, and there have been the majority who have connected and have paid that connection fee. So I don't want it just falling through the cracks. But I can only push as much as I can. So. And I can't make decisions when it comes to those kinds of things. But
What the penalty fee that they're getting billed right now, what's that dollar amount based on? Is it a set fee?
it is a set fee based off of the flat rate for sewer. So the flat rate for sewer plus the additional $20 that each of those residents pay in addition for that project. So it's, I believe, $96.61 is the dollar fee. If we increase rates, that will increase with that. So
Does that become a lien, or can it become a lien at some point?
It can.
it can, but I think like that, we have to invoice them. So the one that I have invoiced the full amount, I can put a lien on that home. The one who's still making payments, because she's continuing to make payments, it makes it hard to do a lien, because as soon as she makes a payment, you have to start all over. So I've been teetering on how to go about it, and I'd rather not place a lien on somebody's home if I don't have to, which is why I think if we can sit and discuss this with them again and remind them that it might be beneficial. I don't know. I just know promises were made. Promises have not necessarily been kept. But we had it was all a verbal agreement. And that's where it makes it kind of hard on my side to try and push things, because there was nothing ever in writing.
Do you have a recommendation, or?
Right now, I just recommend trying to meet with them again and seeing if and when they can get connected and how to continue to move forward with that connection fee. Because like that, and a lot of the agreements were go ahead and connect and pay us in small amounts once you've connected. But like that, there's 4 homes that haven't even connected.
How many did you say?
4.
There's 4, yeah.
I mean, we're getting down to the very last few. So I would love to just see it completed and done. But again, like I said, I can only push so much, because it's, I mean, the most that we could do like that was applying the penalty
Right.
for not connecting. And that they're paying that.
Yeah. The
So-
one house is empty though, right?
There is a house that is empty,
On
yes,
Kimberly Lane.
but they are continuing to pay.
They are.
Yes, they are. And they've gotten the same kind of letters, like, hey, please connect, hey. But
So as far as the enforcement side of things, the sewer lien is an option for those who are connected but haven't paid fees. It's not necessarily an option for those who are not connected yet. Those are 2 sort of different categories.
Right.
thank you for that clarification.
Maybe the best thing.
Am I allowed to speak?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name's Randy.
If you would come up to the mic.
Please.
Okay. Excuse me, Mary. Thank you. My name's Randy Fenwick. I'm a resident of Westlake, and the original arrangement per the council was there was a $2,180 hookup fee. In addition, all the homeowners had to pay for their own excavating. And I don't recall the deadline, but for those who weren't able to come up with the funds during a certain date, they were directed to First State Bank to get a loan. So that was just FYI, that was the original arrangement with a different board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I think First State Bank said they were offering specific loans for this particular
Right.
nature.
They did.
Yeah, like Shaylee said, that it looks like the last deadline for to connect was October of 2022.
Correct. Some people were allowed extensions because
Correct.
their
Those
contractors
who
weren't.
specifically asked.
Yeah.
Yep, there was,
'cause of
there was a lot of extensions granted as well.
Right.
And some of those we've just literally never heard from. So,
I think the best thing probably would be to go ahead and just set up appointments. We'll have to meet with you.
sure. I don't, if you guys want to tell me who and your schedules, I can try and work on that and get those arranged. If one or two of you want to meet with them or however. I mean, if you want to meet
I can.
with, one-on-one, that's fine too.
I'll be glad to do that.
Okay,
I'd be glad to help too.
And I'm usually around.
okay. Thank you.
It's just also give us a better understanding what's going on rather than looking at a letter or.
Yep.
All right, request to close East Mall Street between Main Street and State Street for Legacy Home Furniture Annual Open House.
So Legacy Home Furniture has requested closing East Mall Street beginning on Friday, April 24th through Saturday, April 25th. And this has been done for several years now. They pretty much have it all set up and ready to go. We just need your consideration for approval.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the request to close East Mall Street between Main and State Street on April 24th and 25th.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Also, the Meyer surcharge fee.
So I'll start this out, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to need to call on the wastewater guys to help us with this. So there is, we have surcharge fees for anything with the higher limits of like BODs, suspended solids, and that's all in an ordinance. In February, they had 2 different days where their BODs, the one day jumped to 10,400, another day jumped, I think it was over 4,000. And so they're asking for consideration for relief because what this means is the fact that those 2 days with those higher surcharges amounts to about $14,000. We don't know why those spiked. They hire Element Labs. Sorry, guys. They hire Element Labs to do, it's a third-party testing laboratory, and they do testing. They actually even do dual testing of the same sample, to compare the results to make sure. We're not sure why there was a spike in those results. When I first came here, Meyer had significant surcharges because of what they were pushing down the drain. Instead of, like cleaning stuff up and putting it in the trash can, they would push it down the drain. So that just drove their surcharges way high. And so we went in and we helped them, tried to figure out how to get those surcharges back down. It happened again in 2022. It wasn't as high in 22, but again, we worked with them. They brought it back down. And they've maintained those lower levels pretty consistently. And so to have 2 different days where they spike, I'm not understanding. The guys can talk through it a little bit more, but there's a difference between having a grab sample and a composite sample through their composite system, metering system. So, maybe the guy did a grab sample. We don't know. So they have asked for consideration of, in the email you can see, they asked to either remove the two readings from the average of the surcharge amount. And so that would reduce their surcharges from 23,600 down to 9,600, which is right in line with what January surcharges were. And they said if that's not acceptable, then removing the highest reading of the 10,400, which that would then reduce the surcharge from the 23,600 down to 13,300. So we have to go by ordinance because that's what's set forth. And so the only body that can make any of these modifications is the town council. And if you have further questions about all of this, we'll bring up pretreatment guys and the wastewater guys because they have a lot more knowledge of this.
And I do want to add, Meyer does do testing more than we require. So their average, it helps them with their average. The spreadsheet that we get these surcharges from is directly from Meyer. It's not a spreadsheet that we put together. And the spreadsheet in question with these high numbers hasn't been billed yet. I know it says the month of February, but their BOD, the surcharge billing is always 2 months behind because we give them a month. They have to obviously wait for month end, and then they only have to get the report to us by the end of the following month. So we don't get it in time to bill it fast enough, so we've not billed any of this yet. But we just need to
the billing will
know.
be going out before our next council
Yes.
meeting.
Right.
So we wanted to bring it today so that we could try and bill whatever it is it's decided.
Have you noticed anything coming in February that came through that was like, boy, this is odd? Okay, okay. Now, I mean, that, to me, if you said, wait a minute, we had a couple of days there we had to deal with. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, come on up, Jody.
I'm Jody Nyhard, I'm the pretreatment coordinator. Ricky and I and Cole went last Thursday and got a very nice, good, extensive plant tour, and they're doing everything that they could possibly can. They've got traps at every drain, they've got all kinds of stuff. But if your water's really thick with the BODs or the TSS, which is total suspended solids, things like that, it's the crap that's in it.
Right.
Screens can only do so much. So either something was dumped that nobody knows, or possibly, as Mary said, it could be something with the lab. We checked with the lab. I called them again today to double check, and they went back and redid the testing again, and the second time was lower. But with BODs, that's normal, because it's a 5-day test, so you can't find out right away.
Right.
And as it degrades, so does the amount of crap in the crap.
Right, right.
So that's pretty much where we're at. We really can't pinpoint anything.
But in that month or in that time surrounding those 2 days,
The next day
Nothing
was
negatively
next day was
affected-
900.
so nothing negatively affected the way, the
No,
plant?
No.
So
No,
nothing
the
came,
plant's
like,
fine.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I would probably recommend, the highest day is very unlikely, the 10,000. I mean, you could look at the sheet, the averages go from 900 to 10,000. I mean, the BOD test they do every day, it's very hard to believe that you're gonna go from a 900 to a 10,000 back down to a 900.
When they go to 9, normally, so they normally go from 9 to 1,000?
No. Their test is around 900 to like 1,200.
Normally.
Okay,
Is their
okay,
BODs
that-
usually.
okay.
That range.
Normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going from 900 on a Monday to 10,000 on a Tuesday, and then back down to 900 on a Wednesday, that's just not, the BODs
Down the
are in the system. Like, they're not gonna like
Yeah,
instantly
disappear.
jump away.
Back up.
I wouldn't really recommend getting rid of the 4,000, because, I mean, it's possible. Like Jody said,
Right.
somebody could dump something.
Right, right.
Right. But yeah, the 10,000 one,
I prefer the option 2.
yeah, option 2, I believe, is the better option.
Okay.
'Cause the-
I have no problem with
It's
that.
kind of more of a give and take between both of us. Keep the camaraderie.
Yeah, I mean, Meyer definitely makes us
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
know,
money.
so.
So, I mean, their limit's 200 40
And
BOD.
like I said, they were very cordial, did everything they could, answered every question we asked of them.
Is the proper sampling method the composite for this?
Yes.
Do we have a way to verify whether it was a composite versus a grab
Not
sample?
necessarily.
That was what we asked Element.
There's no way to,
If it's just per se, somebody dropped a bottle and did a grab instead, and they didn't say anything, won't say anything, can't tell. There's just no way to prove that.
Yeah, it's very highly unlikely that Element.
Again, as Shaylee said, they test 5 days a week. We only, or IDEM actually only requires 2. But they do the 5 to make it,
Element Labs is a very
yes.
reputable lab.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Sometimes a decimal point does get moved. In this case, I don't think it did.
Yeah, but I'd find it very hard to believe that Element is gonna.
Right,
say
right,
that
exactly.
It's their fault.
Something happened somewhere, we just can't pinpoint it.
Yeah, there's too many variables. Like I said, the 10,000 is very, very unlikely. I mean, that would have to be,
That's a lot.
they'd have to flush their plant to get rid of all 10,000 or 9,000 to get back down to 900. So, but the 4,000 is definitely reasonable. Like, I mean, again, it's Meyer. I think they can afford a little higher. So, but yeah, the 10,000 I definitely would recommend being on their side.
Thanks.
So, like back in the past, would you notice a difference when they were high consistently? Would you notice a difference in the plant?
I mean, going through the plant.
What was coming into the plant?
in our wastewater plant, because we would have more solid.
Right, you would see, you would see our numbers go up some, but it takes a lot to really make, almost 1 million gallons a day, 600,000 gallons a day. That's a lot of dilution. By the time Meyer gets to us,
So this is kind of an anomaly, and it's just,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they're doing what they're supposed to be
Yes.
doing.
Yeah.
Like if we went and toured and they were, I mean, like red flags everywhere.
we'd be telling
I
you.
I would say charge them all day, but I mean they look great. I mean they have a
I
very.
know they pay a heavy
well-run facility.
fee.
What's that?
They already pay a heavy fee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do.
which and that's the thing. I mean they provide so much extra funding for the town. I mean they know what they're doing. I mean they don't harm us that bad. I mean the food products aren't terrible for our plant, and they know they can make more money the more they go over. And it's not a hard limit. That's why it's a surcharge.
Right, there's a difference between a hard limit and a report only.
Right.
So it's
'Cause,
not
like, they're-
something that's actually getting them in trouble with the state.
Yeah.
It's just our limits.
Yeah, like their limit's 240, and they're almost at 1,000 like every month. But their BODs are different. I mean, food, it varies. Like, it doesn't really affect us that much in the grand scheme of things, and
No.
they make us a lot of money. So,
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, appreciate it.
What was option 2 again?
Option 2
Dropping
is
the
to
lowest.
remove the highest reading of
The highest.
10.4,
Yeah.
which would keep the 4,000, which was in line with what the wastewater
Right.
guys recommend. So that would be my recommendation, if remove what appears to be an anomaly reading of
Yeah.
10.4, which is option 2, which I'm sure is not their favorite option, but it does remove what appears to be the biggest anomaly.
It could be a decimal point.
Correct, right. Right. That could have been 1,000.
We all make mistakes.
Right, could
Right.
have been 1,040, yeah.
There's so
When-
many different things.
Yeah.
Guess I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, obviously.
Yeah.
They're good,
No.
they're good business neighbors
Yeah.
and customers, yeah.
I'm leaning a little more towards option 1, which would be $9,602 versus the $13,300.
Yeah, you just drop them both and average it out.
Yeah, because it does move them back to the average of
Right.
January surcharges, which
I would
is
agree with that.
reasonable for the length of time that we've been doing these surcharges. It's reasonable that,
Yeah,
to
I'm fine with
average it
that.
out, yeah. So, I agree.
Make a motion.
I'd have to add one thing sorry. The only thing that's a little worrisome about that is the 4,000 could be like a true reading, and I don't want them to get the idea that every time they get a high reading like that we're gonna be a little lenient. That's the only thing I can see with this. That's why I kind of recommend the 10,000 a little more, because the 4,000 is definitely believable. The 10,000 is not, and I don't want them to get the idea that, anything over 3,000, we're just gonna complain to the council and they're just get rid of it.
Have they had readings anywhere near this high in the last few years? They have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, that's why I went to option 2, is that I can see the 10-4 being an anomaly because it's so high. But if a 2 or a 3 happens, the 4 could have been, somebody spilled something, somebody dumped a barrel of something and hid the barrel and didn't say anything to the boss. So my recommendation would be option 2.
I appreciate that. I'd go for that.
Is that a second?
Do we need a motion?
Oh, yeah. we
Need a
All
motion.
right, so I'll make a motion that we approve option 2 from Myers' request to remove the highest reading of 10,400, which would reduce their surcharge from $23,618 to $13,300.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, announcements. The Elkhart County Plat Committee meeting will be April 9th at 9 a.m. at the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Plan Commission meeting will be April 9th at 9:30 a.m. at the Public Services Building. Middlebury Park Board meeting will be April 15th at 10 a.m. here at the Town Hall. Elkhart County Board of Zoning hearing officer will be 9 a.m. at the Public Services Building. Elkhart County Board of Zoning Appeals will be April 16th at 9 a.m. at the Public Services Building. The next Town Council meeting will be April 20th at 6 p.m. here